song in an Irish bar, walking along Charlestown, wishing you were in Bannistrand, holding your nephew's hands. We walked along the waterfront, up Bunker down on Main. We met at the monument where everyone knew our names. Our first kiss on 40 flights, our friends on the stoop on summer nights. The church door was always open as the bells rang out for you and me, for all to see on our wedding day.
Good evening and welcome to Charlestown Live. I'm your host, Abby Gray. And before we get started with tonight's show, I'd like to thank our partners, Charlestown Against Drugs, and the lists from Partners Healthcare, including MGH Charlestown, MGH Institute of Health Professionals, Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital, and the MGH Sharp program. Without their help, we couldn't bring you this show, so thank you so much. We have a big show tonight with our guest, MaryLee Trettenero, but before that, I just want to mention that we have, on October 26th, we have the Stroll for Hope, which is a cancer walk, which will take place on the 26th at 10 a.m., starting and finishing at the Knights of Columbus. This is a very serious problem, which I learned about actually having lunch with our producer, Cookie, that just the incidence of cancer in Charlestown are so high. And partly some of that might be due to the old warehouses and pollution, maybe the water, perhaps the commerce that goes through with the big ships and the traffic. So hopefully we will not only stroll for hope and raise money for this disease, which will, it's going to be a 2.5-mile stroll, which will take place in Charlestown. Walkers, babies and carriages, bicycles, wheelchairs, dogs. I guess cats would be invited too, if you so chose. But please, the money will go towards people who need the help, who are suffering from the devastating disease, and maybe need help with things that medical insurance doesn't cover, such as meals or somebody to come in and help you do things, or wigs, for instance, which are very expensive. And then hopefully at another time we can talk about maybe how we could improve our environmental situation so that we don't have to face as many types of cancer in Charlestown. But I want to get started with MaryLee because there's a lot to talk about tonight. MaryLee is my friend. I think she's a friend to a lot of us. She is the local, I call her local psychic, but she's also Boston intuitive. She's also the person behind the Spirits of Charlestown Ghost Tours. And now she's written a book, which we're very excited about. It's going to be published, I think, just in time for Christmas and Hanukkah. So what I thought I'd do, MaryLee, is I'll read one chapter, which was kind of gripping and pulled me in, and then we'll talk about the book. Okay. And then we can talk about the Spirits of Charlestown, which is perfect because Halloween is always a great time to kick that off. All right, so this is from the Second Spirit, Three Cranes Tavern. This is one paragraph in the book. I can see a wooden staircase and a wooden table. There are others there, other slave women. I'm fearful. I try to do things perfectly so as not to be noticed. Cleaning and sewing, fixing things, making things tidy, making things right. The master is greedy about everything. He doesn't let anyone have anything but what he wants them to have. He's mad with envy at what the others have and things he doesn't have. He's looking at our hands. He says he'll chop off our hands if we take anything, but we can't take anything he doesn't already have. He has taken everything from us. He's taken our souls, and I am a slave woman in the American colonies. I am 30 years old, and my name is Jasmine. So Jasmine is the central character in your book?
No, she's actually just one of probably 8 or 9 spirits that I have, that I'm highlighting. I have a lot more actually, but those in the book I'm staying in a certain area, so these are places that are near the Freedom Trail.
Okay, and it is called the Spirits of Charlestown.
Yes.
And it is about ghosts and no, is a ghost and a spirit the same thing? I actually don't know that.
A lot of people make a distinction. They think that they're not. They think that ghosts are trapped and that, they're kind of caught in between two worlds.
Okay.
And I don't happen to believe that, because as a medium, when I am doing the work that I do, often it feels exactly the same. So I might be, I do these things called spirit message circles at my home.
Oh, yes, which reminds me, I just don't want anyone to forget, if they want to call in and talk to MaryLee, call 617-708-3290. I'm sorry I forgot to mention that, but the spirit circles are really an interesting part of your business as well.
Yes, so I tune into the people who are attending there to their loved ones, and it's not really like you say, I want to talk to my mother. It's whoever's around. And so when I do the current day spirits, I'm tuning into them, I feel the same way as I do when I'm doing the historical spirits.
Oh, wow.
So, for me, I think a ghost is a spirit and a spirit's a ghost.
Okay. So how did you decide that you were going to write a book about the spirits of Charlestown? Was it just something kind of evolved, or did you always want to do it?
It was this funny thing. It just kind of snowballed, because I went to City Square Park. I started doing, tuning in, and it was just, it was kind of a whim.
Are there lots of ghosts in City Square Park?
I have found quite a few, and people don't think so much about outdoor sites, that there might be ghosts around those sites. They think more they're related to buildings.
Right.
But as open-aired as City Square Park is, I got Jasmine, and I got some other spirits.
Well, it was also across from what used to be quite a bustling commerce center. So I imagine there were quite a lot of conversations that went on there, possibly altercations, and the courthouse is right there.
Yes.
And I'm kind of showing, I'm not sure how old the courthouse is actually. So is that a central, is that important in your book, the courthouse?
I stay pretty, in this book, I stay pretty close to the American Revolution time period.
Okay.
So, it was more my intention. I think that if I had wanted to go to a different time period, I could.
Yeah.
And, when I get to the Warren Tavern, I actually do get somebody from the 1800s. A couple people from that.
We just can't get away from that Warren Tavern.
Yeah, I know.
So who are some of the other, all right, so who is your favorite spirit? Do you have a favorite spirit?
Well, my favorite spirit is the one at the Warren Tavern. I call her the Lady in Black, and she's the one that's on my poster.
Okay.
And
that looks a lot like you when you do the Spirits of Charlestown tour.
I have to play with the hat a little bit more, but yeah, that's the look I go for. And I believe her name is Sarah Davidson Colby.
Okay.
And the reason, I just found this out through doing some research. When I was tuning into her, she said she was a milliner. And I could see from the outfit that she was in the Victorian age.
Yeah.
So I looked up, a milliner in the Victorian age. And next door in the Timmy Thompson house.
Yeah.
There
next
was
to the Warren Tavern. Yeah.
There was a woman who was a milliner who was around that time period.
Okay.
So then I did some more research, and she always came through as being very sad. And when I looked up this woman's history, she had lost her husband when she was young, and she had 4 kids, and she had to farm her kids out because she didn't have any income.
Oh.
And it took her 10 years to get her kids back.
Oh, wow.
And I looked at a census, and there she is with all her kids, 10 years after her husband had died. So.
And what year is that?
I think that it was somewhere in the 1830s.
Okay.
Somewhere around there.
Okay. Did you uncover, well, first of all, how long did it take you to put all the research together? Has this been a project that's been a long time in the making, or?
The majority of the actual initial work that I did going to the historical sites, that was one summer in 2006.
Okay. Wow.
And then, I had all of this, this information. I really didn't know what to do with it. So I would try to write about it, and then I would put it away. I'd try to write about it, and I put it away. So
So you sound like a writer.
right. And then 2011, I started doing like paranormal investigations. I started working with a spirit sketch artist. I think those are, and I work with the City of Boston architect.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's interesting too because you've also done forensic psychology, correct? Like is that somewhat, if you're finding a spirit or a ghost, is that completely different from finding somebody who's missing in your world?
It's so when you're finding somebody who's missing, you can do it two ways. One is like talk with a spirit, and that spirit might be able to give you information. And the other way is called remote viewing, which is the remote viewer, just has a target and they tune in and they see it.
They see it.
Yeah. So they are kind of different skills, but.
Okay. Well, I'm always fascinated with MaryLee because she goes to, I had no idea about her profession before I got to know her better. And she goes to a lot of educational seminars and schools, and there's lots of different degrees. So it's a field where a lot of people don't quite understand. But one of the things you touched on, and then we will talk about well, first let's mention this because I want to go back to your spirit circles because you mentioned that.
Yes.
So, and I think that's important to your overall business, which is you, would you say psychic? Because I say psychic.
Yeah, I do. I mean,
and you do appointments, you do read cards.
I do
correct?
half hour and hour appointments. I use tarot cards. It's intuitive readings, and I help people, like make decisions in their life. So if they're whether it's career or family or money or whatever it is, relationship, people would come to me and I just read their cards and, tell them what I see in the cards.
And I have to say, so for any of you skeptics out there, when I had Olivia Browning, MaryLee was a frequent or twice a year event, and we would have 20 or 25 people sign up, and some people had never seen MaryLee before, and they would come out of the room and say, oh my God, I can't believe it. It's really, it's true, and I've been so nervous about going. And there's really nothing to be frightened of. I think you just have to be kind of open to either being read or talking. Right. Wouldn't you say?
And what people say now, time and time again, is don't tell me anything bad. Right. And the way I feel about that is that, it's how you deliver the message. Like I don't pronounce you're going to be in a car accident or, when you're going to die. I don't do any of those kinds of things. But I might say, be careful driving.
Right. So it could be preventative even. Yes.
Right. And I might say, the month of July, be careful driving,
Which would keep me from going in a car at all.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Yeah. Okay, so then the other thing, one of the other things is your Spirits of Charlestown Haunted Historical Ghost Tour.
Yes. Which
is pretty cool. And what I was saying to MaryLee over as we were driving over as well is that I think this is an amazing tour for anybody in the city of Boston to come and do, or any tourists to come and do. It should definitely be out there because you did pretty well last year in terms of gaining new business and getting referrals and things like that. We do have the U.S. Constitution and the Bunker Hill Monument in Charlestown, but those are just two of the things in Boston. A third thing in Charlestown is your ghost tour.
Right.
And you will be, October's the perfect time to start it back up. Right now, the tours are scheduled for October 18th at 7 p.m. October 19th at 6 p.m., October 25th at 7 p.m., and October 30th at 7 p.m. You can get tickets and info by calling 617-242-4682 or info at info@spiritsofcharlestown.com, right? That's specifically for the ghost tours.
That'll be the ghost tours, and you can also buy tickets at a discount.
And how long are the ghost tours?
They're 90 minutes.
90 minutes.
And they follow the Freedom Trail. We don't do the Constitution only because it's so, it would just make the tour really long. So
Yeah.
I will probably design another one that'll be like a Navy Yard tour. And people have asked me also how strenuous is the tour, and I would say if you're in reasonably good shape, if you want to bring like elderly parents or something like that, as long as they're able to walk for 90 minutes, it's a very gentle incline from the training field up to the Constitution. I mean to the monument.
Right, and you don't have to go up the stairs to the monument.
Right. That's what I always say.
You can if you want to.
Yeah,
but-
we can stand at the bottom of the stairs. There's no
And
no
actually,
difference.
because that's a national park, all that is accessible via wheelchair as well, or scooter, something like that. If you
Right.
if you needed it. So, are there any highlights? Have you added anything, or are you
well,
tweaking anything
Yeah.
for this year?
Well, I know the material even better because I've been writing the book. So I did a tour on Saturday, and it was really, really fun because the people on the tour asked really good questions, and they were part of the
Historical House tour?
Yes, yes. So
Which was fabulous, by the way.
Yes.
We do have to shout out to the Preservation Society.
Yes.
They did a wonderful job. And Amy Valtero did a
Yes.
wonderful job. And she's their guru who puts everything together. And I can't remember, Elizabeth Gettings,
Yes.
I believe, did another.
And Ellen Kitsis was the chairperson.
And Ellen Kitsis, yes,
Yeah.
thank you. So I did see you walking
Yes.
that day, and I was walking the other way. But did you do a house tour or just a ghost tour?
I had a table
Okay.
during the house tour, and then at 6 o'clock, I did a ghost tour.
Oh, great.
So, after the reception was over, then I met whoever wanted to go on the tour at City Square Park, and it was just really delightful. I enjoyed everybody that was on the tour, and
So what do you think are the top 3 highlights of the tour? If you were citywide right now, or you had a bunch of tourists in front of you, what would you tell them?
I like City Square Park, and I like John Harvard Mall.
Yeah.
Because John Harvard Mall, I talk about being a medical staging area.
Oh.
And so I'm not trying to, in my ghost tours, I'm not trying to talk
Like
about...
triage or
Well, they had field hospitals.
okay.
And so in my tours, I do go into history that's known, but I'm also trying to, I feel like the spirits feel like they want to share something. It's like they have secrets they want to tell. And so I get to the John Harvard Mall, and I start getting all of these images of bandages and wounded men, and a lot of sort of hospital, I shouldn't say hospital, war kind of images.
Yeah.
And so that's a favorite side of mine. And then let's see, the next one, I guess I like them all. Like the training field, Bunker Hill Mine.
There's so much rich.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
The amount of history in Charlestown.
Yes.
Even our house. Well, you did a research on our house, but I'm just thinking about our house. And then a few weeks ago there was some houses that were in the newspaper because people had left messages in the floorboards, and
Oh, right,
I mean,
right.
it just is never ending. Probably what you can tap into.
I have 2 people's houses now from the historic tour, not the houses that were on the tour, but people that approached me that want me to come to their house to...
Space clear?
Nope.
Nope.
To talk about their ghost, to
Oh.
tune into their ghost.
That's neat.
Yes, yeah, so...
So MaryLee's I mean, there's so much that you're doing now. And I see, as your friend looking from the outside in, your career has really grown and expanded into really different and interesting things. Because your base is still, I think, your reading and your
Right.
profession as an intuitive and a psychic.
Right.
And then you have your tours, which are
Yeah.
like a love and an added thing for the community and the community as a whole, meaning Boston. And then your book,
Yes.
which can go nationwide, worldwide. It's very exciting. The book is going to be, well, we're hoping that you'll do a book signing
Right.
in Charlestown
I will.
and several. And then it's going to be sold on Amazon.
Yes.
Which is also, it's a good thing. I know I'm a big, local person, but for someone who is getting their new product out, that is a good outlet, because unfortunately there aren't lots of
Yeah.
bookstores anymore.
Right. Well, and it's self-publishing, and so it's a way for my book to look like it's from a publishing house.
Right.
But it's self-publishing, and I get to control all the content. And so nobody will change any of my spirits on me or the messages that they are, giving everybody. So.
And you think that the book will publish. I want to show these pictures, but unfortunately you're going to have to wait to see the book because it'll glare against the camera. But MaryLee had hired an artist to do renderings of places that you love. I know you do if you're from Charlestown or Boston. And so you have 50 pictures in the book? Or
I can have up to 50 pictures.
Okay.
And I'm going to do some photographs of the historical sites. But these are spirit, like little vignettes from, like the spirits that were talking to me. So I would ask an artist to, go back and there's in here, this book, there's a British soldier who's burning Charlestown to the ground. So I have that picture in here. I have a rendering of it. So yeah, there's just such a variety of,
Well,
spirits.
that's why I make my British husband go to the Bunker Hill Day Parade every year.
Okay.
All right, so we have a lot to look forward to. The first tour, public tour, will start up October 18th.
Yes.
That's Spirits of Charlestown.
Leaving from City Square Park.
Leaving from City
near
Square
the fountain.
Park. If you need information on that, do go to spiritsofcharlestown.com. The Spirits of Charlestown book will be out in December.
Yes, and it's called We're Still
Oh,
Here.
yes, I meant to do that. We're Still Here. This is such a cool, I love the visual on that. The Secret World of Bunker Hill's Historical Spirits. Again, MaryLee is an intuitive, so you may call her. She does the spirit circles on Monday nights usually. Private readings. I've actually done the spirit circle, and I have to tell you, it's a true thing. And you have to be open again. Somebody might not come through, or somebody might. I had 2 people come through, and I thought it was really a neat evening. And I know that people go in the hopes of really talking to somebody, but you kind of have to may go a couple times. You can't get mad at MaryLee if somebody doesn't come through, because it's not her fault. It's
Right.
the spirit trying to reach you.
Right.
Correct?
Yeah. They control what's going on.
I know it gets emotional too for a
Yes.
lot of people. Okay, so you have a big fall coming up.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And October 23rd, I'm speaking at the library.
Oh, wonderful.
So it starts at 7:30.
Okay.
And again, it's going to be, talking about the spirits of Charlestown.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, I told you this would go quickly.
Yeah.
We need to have MaryLee on again, and we also will have Karen Fabian on, a good friend of ours who's also self-published a book on yoga. I'll look to have her on one of the shows coming up soon. But MaryLee, don't forget the book, The Spirits of Charlestown. And again, I'd like to thank our partners, Charlestown Against Drugs, Partners Healthcare, including MGH Charlestown, MGH Institute of Health Professionals, Spalding Rehabilitation, and the MGH Sharp Program. I'm Abby Gray, and remember to shop and dine in 02129. Good night.
A song in an Irish bar, walking along Charlestown, wishing you were in Banner Strand, holding your nephew's hands. We walked along the water friends on the stoop on summer nights. The church door was always open as the bells rang out for you and me, for all to see on a wedding day. There's an immigrant soul under southern stars.